Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Professor Lopez, and I'm doing a short video for those of you that were asking me questions earlier today in our lecture. First of all, thank you for attending the lecture today. I know that you got a lot of value out of it, and just thankful that you showed up today. But today is the assignment that's due is body of the assignment. So some of you had questions regarding how exactly to do it. So this is going to be a very short video just to explain to you exactly what I'm looking for and what my expectations are and what you should be submitting tonight at midnight, before midnight, okay? So basically you're going to be working on the first part of your speech outline, and it's the body of the speech. So basically, where it says the first main point, I want you to kind of do that last. The first main point, the next main point, and the final main point, I want you to work on that last. So basically, you want to take the credible sources assignment that you did, and you basically want to take the your first source, and you want to basically write the source citation here, which would be essentially according to the LA Times or the New York Times, or according to the Department of Human Services or the Centers for Disease and Control. Where it says source citation, what I'm looking for is either the author of the article, the title of the article, or the name of the publisher if there's no author, no title of the article. So where it says source citation, again, author, title of the article, or the name of the publisher, that's what needs to go on there. FYI, do not place the website address of your source in the source citation here. That goes into the works cited portion of your assignment later. So where it says source citation, again, just author, title of the article, or the name of the publisher. Where it says the source type, that's where you need to inform me. Is it a magazine? Is it a newspaper? Is it a blog? Is it a vlog? Is it a YouTube source? Is it a government report? So here's where you just need to put one word and describe what type of a media source is it. It could be online article, it can be website, it could be magazine, book, whatever. So that's what I'm looking for there. Where it says the main point explanation, so if, for example, I'm going to talk about coffee, then my first main point is going to be the history of coffee. So in my first main point, I'm going to put history, right? And that's going to cue me to talk about the history of coffee. I'm not looking for in the main point a full sentence. It could be 1 to 3 words just to describe what you're going to be talking about. And so it would be history of coffee is what my first main point would be. In the main point explanation, that's where you're going to write 1 sentence, maybe 2 sentences, but max 2 sentences that is going to explain what you're going to talk about in the body. I'm going to talk about the history of coffee because it's important to understand for historical content, where coffee came from, etc. So that would be my explanation. Now, my supporting evidence is where I'm going to take the evidence that I get from my source. Say my source citation is according to Coffee Magazine, and the source type is magazine. Then I'm going to take the supporting evidence based on the article, 3 important data, stats, or information from the article that supports my main point, which is the history of coffee. And then I'm going to share my personal story. I started drinking coffee when I was in high school, and I fell in love with the caffeine and the taste of coffee. I went to work at a coffee shop after high school, and I fell in love with learning how to roast, and I got to learn about the different beans that come from different parts of the world, et cetera, et cetera. So that's my personal story. And then you have to write your transition sentence that's going to indicate to the audience you're now moving from one main idea to the next idea. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And then you're going to repeat the steps again. So the next main point is going to be probably coffee beans, right? And according to the Department of Commodities in Department of Commodity Magazine, it's another publication, and I'm going to talk about the importance of understanding the different variety of coffee beans from different regions of the world, right? And then my supporting evidence could be, I'm going to talk about the coffee beans in Latin America versus the coffee beans that come from the Middle East versus the coffee bean that comes from Southeast Asia. And then I'm going to say, well, I own a small roasting company, and I constantly buy coffee beans from Honduras, from Southeast Asia, from the Middle East, and my customers seem to always like the coffee beans from South America, and then transition into the next point. So again, then you repeat the process again for your third main point. Probably, I guess, if you already know what your main themes are, in this case, if I'm talking about coffee, I'm going to talk about the history of coffee. I'm going to talk about, my first main point is the history of coffee. My second main point is going to be coffee beans from around the world. And probably my third main point is how to basically make the perfect cup of coffee. And I'm going to talk about the roasting process and how to make sure that you're grinding the coffee beans the appropriate way, how to make sure that you have the sufficient water in order to achieve the goal of the perfect cup, right? So that's what I'm looking for here in this example, is just to start building the meat of your outline. I am going to provide 2 different types of examples of students over the summer that did an excellent job on submitting a excellent speech outline. So that's going to be in the announcements page, and take a look at those and simply follow that guideline. The way you see that they submitted their speech outline and did it, just model that. Just copy exactly the format that they submitted in. They got an A+ on the speech outline, so that's what I'm looking for. Don't try to do something on your own. Don't try to read my mind. Don't try to guess what you think I'm looking for. Just follow the format. Just follow the instructions and the directions, and just exactly use the speech outlines that I'm going to provide for you as guides to create your own outline. Okay, so I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But remember, the body assignment is due tonight at 11:59. Don't submit it. Don't wait to submit it 5 minutes before 11:59. Keep in mind that the Canvas system is probably, the timing is ahead of yours. So try to submit it early as soon as you can. Thank you, and have a great evening and have a great weekend.